This is a review of factoring that's covered in Algebra 1 and in first semester Algebra 2. So first we're going to review factoring by a GCF. So a GCF is a greatest common factor. And so let's break that down. Greatest means the biggest. Common means one they both share. And a factor is a number that divides into another number. So you could also think of it as how we can multiply to get the number. So how I break down a greatest common factor, and a lot of these you're going to be able to do in your head, but I want to show you a strategy for in case you're stuck. If I'm trying to break down between 2 and 16, I don't worry about the negative, I just write down 16. What you do is you look at all the ways to multiply to 2. That's 1 times 2. Now list off all the ways to multiply to 16. It's 1 and 16, 2 and 8, 4 and 4. So you look for the greatest number, the largest number, that they both have in common. So they both have a 2 as a factor, so the greatest common factor is 2. Now, how you break down the x to the 7th and the x to the 5th. I'm going to show it drawn out, but I think you will get to the point where you'll be fine just doing it in your head. So here's what happens. X to the 7 is x times itself 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. X to the 5th is x times itself 5 times. So if you look at how many they have in common, there are 5 x's here, and you can have 5 x's here. So x to the 5th can be pulled out of both. So the GCF is 2x to the 5th. Now, when you factor by a GCF, what you're really doing with factoring is you're undoing multiplication. So you can divide out the 2x to the 5th. And so 2 divided by 2 is 1. X to the 7 over x to the 5th is x squared. Negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8. And x to the 5th over x to the 5th makes 1 when it, x to the 5th over x to the 5th is 1. So that's why it cancels out, because it makes 1. And this is our answer right here. And how you can check and just know you did it correctly is by distributing back in. 2x to the 5th times x squared does make 2x to the 7th, and that's what we had here. 2x to the 5th times negative 8 makes negative 16x to the 5th, which is what we had here. So I know I did it correctly. All right, this strategy also works when you have 3 terms. You're just going to find the GCF between 30, 20, and 5. And like I said, I think you'll be able to do this in your head. I just wanted to give you a resource to use when it's maybe some odd numbers that you're just not used to. And so what I'm doing is I'm writing down all of the ways I can multiply to 30. So 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, and 5 times 6. I don't keep going and do 6 times 5 because that's the same as 5 times 6. So 1 and 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5, and 1 and 5. So you're looking for the one that they all have. They each have a 5. They also each have a 1, but you're looking for the greatest one they have in common, and so that's why we're choosing 5. Now, out of x cubed, which is x times itself 3 times, x squared, which is x times itself twice, and x, they each can only pull out an x because there's only one here. So each time the greatest common factor is only x. So 5x is what we are factoring out. And you're going to just divide everything by 5x. So you get 30 divided by 5 is 6. X cubed divided by x is x squared. Okay, then 20 divided by 5 is 4, and it's plus because it's plus 20. X squared divided by x is x. Now, a lot of people right here will want to just cancel these out and not write anything, and that doesn't work. Picture distributing it back in. 5x times 6x squared is 30x cubed. 5x times 4x is 20x squared, but then you wouldn't have anything to distribute right here. So you have to have something there. So think of it instead as negative 5 divided by 5 is negative 1. So there's your number. And then x over x also is 1. And so 1 times 1, that's why you just have minus 1. And if you check with distributing, you did that correctly.